I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Donald Trump's purported defenses to the criminal charges brought against him by special counsel Jack Smith are so pathetic that Trump's former top White House lawyer is out there on TV just completely mocking Trump's current lawyers, John Lauro and Alina Habba. Yeah, the former top White House lawyer under the Trump administration goes by the name of Ty Cobb, is mocking what John Lauro said when John Lauro went on the weekend shows and said, oh, when Donald Trump was threatening the Secretary of State of Georgia, who, by the way, is a Republican, that Donald Trump wasn't threatening him. When Donald Trump said that there could be criminal charges brought against him if he doesn't find 11,780 votes or else, that wasn't a threat. That was an aspirational ask. And that's what the Trump propagandists are going with. Again, treating the American people like we're stupid. Oh, Trump wasn't threatening. Trump was making an aspirational ask, right? Sounds exactly like when Trump and the MAGA Republicans and Kellyanne Conway were talking about those are just alternative facts. Anyway, here's Trump's former top White House lawyer, Ty Cobb, saying, I'm not really aware of any aspirational defense. Play the clip.
He asked in an aspirational way. He went on to say, asking is not speech. It's not action. That's the heart of this, right? Speech versus action. Does that defense fly here?
Not at all. I'm not aware of the aspirational defense or the free speech defense to to a gang leader saying to two of his subordinates, I need you two to please rob a bank for me, and they do it. That's aspirational, but it leads to a crime. And that's exactly what Trump did with Pence.
And by the way, this is the same former White House counsel, Ty Cobb, in the superseding indictment of Donald Trump, talked about how the original indictment, well, that was engineered to last 1,000 years. This one, through antiquity. Play this clip of Trump's former White House lawyer. Play the clip.
I know you've read through the new indictment, been able to sort of compare every count, see the new document added, which appears to be those Iran attack plans shown to a biographer. Trump said that, by the way, he showed nothing. It was just articles. They now have the proof that it was not. It was actually the document he was waving around. As you go through everything in this now 60-page superseding indictment, what stands out to you, Ty?
Well, I think this original indictment was engineered to last 1,000 years, and now it will last. The superseding indictment will last to antiquity. I mean, this is such a tight case. The evidence is so overwhelming. It's very difficult to imagine how Trump could say that his lawyers met with Jack Smith today to explain to him that he hadn't done anything wrong, on the same day that Jack Smith produces, this evidence of, overwhelming evidence of additional wrongdoing on his part. So this is, I think, par for the course. I think one thing that's been ignored in the discussion so far, though, is, this is Trump dealing directly with Nada and De Oliveira. At a time where Evan Corcoran, it has been told by him that there are no additional documents, that they don't have anything, and his lawyers certainly, were advising him.
And here is Trump's former White House lawyer saying that he believes Donald Trump is going to go to jail in the classified document case. An interview he did a few months back. Play this clip.
I would not necessarily expand the case to try to prove the Espionage Act piece of it, because there's so much evidence of guilty knowledge on the espionage piece that all they really have to do is show that Trump moved these documents at various times when DOJ was either demanding them or actually present, that he filed falsely with the Justice Department, had his lawyers file falsely with the Justice Department an affidavit to the effect that that none existed, which was shattered by the documents that they then discovered after the search, and the many other misrepresentations that he and others have made on his behalf with regard to his possession of classified documents. So I think this obstruction case is a tight case. And yes, I do think he'll go to jail on it.
Just to remind you what Donald Trump's lawyer said about his current lawyer about the aspirational ask. This is John Lauro, who Michael Cohen called the weatherman TV lawyer. The weatherman TV lawyer cracked me up on Political Beatdown. This is John Lauro saying this was an aspirational ask, right? John Lauro is Joe Tacopino 2.0. Play this clip.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
If he had proof he won the state, why did he threaten the Secretary of State with a criminal with a criminal charge?
That wasn't a threat at all. What he was asking for is for Raffensperger to get to the truth. He believed that there were in excess of 10,000 votes that were counted illegally. And what he was asking for is the Secretary of State to act appropriately and find these votes that were counted illegally. That was an hold on one second. That was an aspirational ask. He's entitled to petition even state government, but that doesn't involve an obstruction of federal government. But what the Biden administration has said is somehow President Trump obstructed a federal proceeding. That relates to what was going on in the states. And President Trump had every right to ask the Secretary of State, I believe that this election was conducted improperly. There are deficiencies here. I want to see if there are more than 10,000 votes or whatever the number was that were counted illegally. Once again, that's core political speech.
Bringing up a criminal violation is somehow speech. I mean, it's the way it sounds like somebody saying that's a mighty fine, it's a mighty fine restaurant you have there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. I mean, it's no different than, I mean, it's a big threat here to bring up a criminal offense.
Have you read the First Amendment? Oh, no, Chuck, have you read the First Amendment? I mean, political speech is the most protected speech that we have under our Constitution. It's important to go back and read the text of the First Amendment. So you can actually say that a government official is acting criminally. That's protected by the First Amendment. If we lose the First Amendment rights, then heaven forbid we lose the right to freedom of the press. We lose the right for me to appear. We lose the right for you to speak.
You're not allowed to use speech. You're not allowed to use speech, though, in order to get somebody to commit a crime.
An aspirational ask. Okay, well, let's talk to one of the fact witnesses, someone who's spoken with Special Counsel Jack Smith. Let's talk to maybe the former lieutenant governor in Georgia. How about we see what former GOP lieutenant governor Jeff Duncan has to say? What does Duncan have to say? One of the targets of the threats. Play this clip.
You're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. So look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
And what he was asking for is the Secretary of State to act appropriately and find these votes that were counted illegally. That was an hold on one second. That was an aspirational ask.
Does that sound aspirational to you?
It sounds dangerous and pathetic, in my opinion. And in that moment, when I heard that audio tape for the first time, I had a sea of emotions, but probably led by embarrassment, right? Here I was. At the time, take you back in time, we had a runoff for 2 U.S. Senate seats that Donald Trump eventually lost for us because of this pathetic attempt. Look, like I said, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of medicine to take. I think Republicans, like many other people in Donald Trump's past, are going to regret ever being associated with him.
Do you think?
And folks, what's so important when I show you, when we go over these videos together, right? I don't just want to show you, okay, here's what Ben thinks, or here's what MeidasTouch is saying. And by the way, MeidasTouch.com, our new source of the best pro-democracy news out there, MeidasTouch.com. But I want to show you, okay, this man, Ty Cobb, was Trump's former top White House lawyer. So, you know, you want to listen to him. You want to listen to the former top conservative appellate judge, Judge Ludwig. You want to hear what he has to say, who's viewed as like the godfather of like conservative justices, right? When conservative meant something, you know, that before it was misappropriated by MAGA Republicans. You want to listen to what Judge Ludwig has to say. You want to listen to Donald Trump's other lawyers. You want to listen to what Pat Cipollone, Trump's lawyer, has to say, or Patrick Philbin, or Eric Hirschman, or Bill Barr. Bill Barr says Donald Trump's a criminal. Donald Trump's former attorney general who covered up a ton of Trump's crimes. Bill Barr said that. But know what? They're all in MAGA world. Those are rhinos. Those are Marxists and communists and Marxist, communist, fascist combined. No, folks. It's gaslighting 101, right? We will not be gaslit in the MeidasTouch community, in the Meidas Mighty. Ain't happening here, folks. Just going to call balls and strikes. And Donald Trump has no balls. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Go to MeidasTouch.com.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.